Hello everyone, today we will learn 6.4 gains from efficient investment. 2. Can poor countries gain from financial globalization? It includes 1. Introduction. 2. A benchmark model. Countries have identical productivity levels. 3. Augmented model. Countries have different productivity levels. 1. Introduction. If the world real interest is R*, and the country has investment projects for which MPK exceeds R*, then the country should borrow to finance these projects. With this in mind, we ask, why doesn't more capital flows to poor countries? Production function approach. To look at what determines a country's marginal product of capital, economists use a version of a production function that maps available capital per worker, K equals K divided by L, and the prevailing level of productivity, A, to the level of output per worker, Q, equals Q divided by L, well, Q is GDP. A simple and widely used production function takes the form Q equals A times K theta, where theta is a number between 0 and 1 that measures the contribution of capital to production, or the elasticity of capital with respect to output. Theta is estimated to be 1/3, and the productivity level here is set at a reference level of 1, then Q equals K 1/3. MPK is the slope of the production function, is given by MPK equals delta Q divided by delta K equals the slope of the production function equals theta times Q divided by K. 2. A benchmark model. Countries have identical productivity levels. Assume that countries have the same level of productivity, A equals 1. Our model says that the poorer the country, the higher it is MPK due to the twin assumptions of diminishing marginal product and the common productivity level. Investment ought to be very profitable in Mexico and in India and all poor countries. In Figure 67, Panel A, the United States is at point R for rich, and Mexico is at point B, and it is low output implies a capital per work K that is on 8% of the US level. What is Mexico's marginal product of capital? It is 5.4 times the US marginal product of capital. Why? As above, MPK is theta, a constant for both countries equal to 1/3 times Q divided by K. In the United States, Q divided by K equals 1. In Mexico, Q divided by K equals 0.43, and MPK equals 0.43 divided by 0.08 equals 5.4. We would expect to see large flows of capital to poor countries until their capital per work K and hence output per work Q rise to levels seen in the rich country. Movement from point B to point R. The result is convergence. They look at the paradox. Why doesn't capital flow from rich to poor countries? In his widely cited article, Why doesn't capital flow from rich to poor countries? Nobel laureate Robert Lucas wrote, if this model were anywhere close to being accurate, and if world capital markets were anywhere close to being free and complete, it is clear that in the face of return differentials of this magnitude. Investment goods would flow rapidly from the United States and other world countries to India and other poor countries. Indeed, one would expect low investment occur in worse countries. 3. An augmented model. Countries have different productivity levels. To see why capital does not flow to poor countries, we now suppose that the productivity level is different in the United States and Mexico, as denoted by country subscripts. Q-US equals A-US times K-US theta. Q-max equals A-max times K-max theta. MPK max divided by MPK US equals Q max divided by Q US divided by K max divided by K US. Why doesn't capital flow to poor countries? Poor and rich countries have different level of productivity, different production function, and so MPK may not be much higher in poor countries than it is in rich countries, as shown in panel B. The poor country, Mexico, is now at C and not at B. Now investment acts on until MPK falls to the rest of the world level at point D. The result is divergence. Capital per work K and output per work Q do not converge to the levels seen in the rich country. We know that Q max divided by Q US equals 0.43, but we can also obtain data on capital per work that show K max divided by K US equals 0.33. If the simple model were true, Mexico would have a level of output level per work of one-third equals 0.69 or 69% of the US level. However, Mexico's output per work was much less, only 0.43 or 43% of the US level. This gap can only be explained by a lower productivity level in Mexico. We infer that A in Mexico equals 0.43 divided by 0.69 equals 0.63 or 63% of that in the United States. This means that Mexico's production function and the MPK curves are lower than those for the United States. The MPK gap between Mexico and the United States is much smaller, which greatly reduces the incentive for capital to migrate to Mexico from the United States. Thank you.